Do you lead a business that doesn't feel particularly technical? Is tech a bit of an afterthought for you and your company? Well, the truth is that today, every company is a software company to some degree. And in this video, I'll share the 5 reasons why that should matter for your growing company. Hi, my name is Adam McGowan, Firefield's CEO. My day job is to help non-technical leaders harness technology in order to grow, protect, or spark change in their businesses. And I created Tech for the Exec to do the same for you. In today's video, I'm going to debunk the myth that seemingly non-technical companies can afford to not get serious about technology. Okay, mythbuster number 1, your company's operations. So the myth here is that unless you're running your business using really complicated software, tech shouldn't really concern you. Well, let's think about this. Imagine some piece of software that you use to run the company, even if it's a very basic thing. Just imagine that it just simply stops working. And no one has any idea how to fix it, how to replace it, how to make up for lost time or lost revenue or lost profitability. No one necessarily knows how to handle upset customers or vendors. It feels a little bit different when something like that is so specific and when the software product that you have simply stops working. We take for granted the fact that these things generally simply work, but they don't always. Whether you bought something and installed it, lease it or subscribe to it and get it delivered to you on the web, or you built it from scratch. It is important to understand how it works, what the benefits are to you, and frankly, what is your risk if it stops working? How beholden are you to that technology? And taking a hands-off approach of saying we don't need to be technical because the tool itself is not that sophisticated isn't good enough anymore. So being technical relative to this myth means you've got to understand your tools, understand their benefits, their limits, what it takes to get them to the next level, and what happens when they stop working for your company. Mythbuster number 2, your customers. So the myth here is that if the customer isn't demanding new tech today, then tech shouldn't concern you. Well, the customer and the marketplace are always moving quickly and probably moving faster today than they've ever moved before. So the question becomes not just what are your demographics of your customer today, what are their demands, but what are they going to look like tomorrow? How about 3 months from now? How about a year from now or beyond? Customer demands are evolving very fast, and oftentimes, as quick as it seems that technology can be implemented and changed, it doesn't happen overnight. So even if your customers are not demanding more tech from you today, they likely will be soon. And understanding what the options are, how costly or cost effectively you can implement them, and what that means for your customer is incredibly important to know now. And if you don't know it, starting to learn about it as soon as possible is really, really important. So being technical here means understanding not just the preferences of your customer today, but what they look like over time and how to be prepared for that with technology. Mythbuster number 3, your competition. So the myth here is that unless your competitor's tech is directly stealing customers away from you now, you shouldn't concern yourself with technology. Well, let me ask you 3 questions. The first one is, what relationship do your closest competitors have with tech? Second question is, even if those competitors who are pretty technical or more technical than you don't have that much market share, aren't as big as you, how fast could that change? Do you know? What if you don't know? Could it change fast? And the third question is, are those companies creating any barriers to entry for you? So as your market changes, they put themselves at a competitive advantage. Are you sure that's not true? Because anything other than a resounding confirmation that they're not doing that means they could be. And what that really means is that being technical here suggests you have got to understand what's going on around you, particularly when it comes to your competitors, because you've got to prevent a scenario where you lose a competitive advantage to them or new entrants in the future. Mythbuster number 4, your workforce. So the myth here is that if the technical demands of your workforce today are limited, then you don't need to concern yourself with tech. Well, just like with your customers and with your competitors, things are changing. The same is true for your workforce. Will it look the same in a year or 2 or 3? Will more people want to work remotely? Will people want to use different tools? Will your competitors be attracting the workforce away from you because of what they're providing technologically? Understanding that is really important. And having a relatively lower tech workforce can sort of lull you to sleep. Don't let that happen. Being technical here means understanding what teams need to be engaged and effective at work over time, today, in the near future, and beyond. Mythbuster number 5, your partners or service providers. So in this case, the myth is that unless your partners, suppliers, or service providers are demanding specific or complicated technology from you in order to work together, that you don't really need to concern yourself with tech. Well, the issue here is much more complicated than having it simply be yes or no. If our tech is good enough, we can work with this partner, or if no, we can't. That's a very simplistic view. What we typically find is that lots and lots of vendors, partners, service providers are very flexible. They too want to grow and scale their business, and they don't want someone's lack of tech to be a huge impediment for them to be able to do, share, and grow more business. However, it doesn't mean you're getting the most out of those relationships. So it's not a question of whether or not you do business with them, it's how effectively, productively, and profitably you do that business. Better tech can lead to much better economics. And so in this 5th case, being technical here means understanding how the influence of tech on your business's network impacts the economics of your business, not simply the opportunities available to you. Let's find out what type of non-tech exec you are. Click the video to learn whether you are holding your company back or pushing it forward. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm posting new videos at least once a week to help you compete and win in an increasingly technical world. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next episode.